All right, and we're back here for game number 2. Toxic versus Avic is up on the block, and this is a best-of-3 series here for the Quake 4 Invitational taking place at the World Cyber Games 2006 in Monza, Italy. We've switched to the map Frantic, and let's talk a little bit about this, Red. You know, this is definitely one of my favorite maps. A lot of fast action. A lot of people say, you know what, I'm not quite sure why it is one of your favorite maps, considering that it's fairly repetitive. You see the same sort of play, but see, I disagree. I think there's a lot of various scenarios that can come into play. And we do have the countdown. 3, 2, 1, take us away.
Absolutely. There's some clever stuff on this map all the way around. You're going to see it all the way through this game as we get underway in this second map of the World Cyber Games Invitational for Quake 4. Serious Avec, one map down already to SK Toxic, the Toxinator, as we find their opening battle right up in that high yellow area, and Toxic will nail Avec with a brilliant rocket right down onto his feet. And take that first frag of the game after 30 seconds, and Avic caught right in the corner here with only a machine gun, but brilliantly comes back with a frag, and well, hasn't left him with a lot of health, but at least he got the frag back. That was great machine gun work as well. Now he's been trapped over by the LG ledge, and has the LG himself, but they're going to trade blows here and try and walk their way around, tries to go for the 50 bowler house. You see it there, sitting on the screen, and actually, it was like desperation. I could see that 50, I want to go for it, and he couldn't get there. Toxic takes him down, has a 2-1 lead, might get a third off the conversion, but now he has that red armor, and that red armor is going to play a crucial role at Frantic. We always call the middle 50 as well, that bubble of health, the Frantic Mega Health, because there is no Mega on here.
Right.
There's no rail, there's no Mega, and that's what it makes it such an interesting map from my point of view. You can play some clever stuff on here as well. And
you mentioned how important the red armor is on this map. If you remember during the initial release of Quake into version 1.2, it actually was a more preferred strategy to go for both of the yellows, but now that 1.3 movement has made it so quick to move from one side of Frantic to the other, the red armor is always coming into play, and all these players utilizing it in their strategies as well. 13 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock. It is 4-1 in favor of Toxic. Make it 5-1 as he splatters his opponent on the wall, looking for another one. Double wall jump, and then Toxic finishes up with a rocket. And look at him just fly through the level. This is a map where you really can appreciate 1.3 and what some of the movement does for you. Now, if you're unfamiliar with what happened, is they actually sped up the movement in 1.3, which is a version release for Quake 4, and it's really changed the game. I would say significantly, but for the better. It's really made it more exciting for spectators. I think the players sort of enjoyed a little bit more, and Avic did pick up another one, 6-2 now. Can he convert? That's the question.
That's the point. He has to try and convert. And you're right about the map as well. I mean, the players do like, the 1.3 patch. The players do enjoy this game. I've heard lots of stories from players who were bored almost from the previous release. Now suddenly they're back playing all the time. So you know, it has made a big difference. It's really good to see. 6-2 is the score right now. Toxic leading by 4 frags. We've had a couple of minutes so far in this game of just pure brilliance, really, of moving around the map from the Sweden. And Avic finally has managed to stem that tide and now wants to try and build something of his own. And at the moment he's trapped down low, he does have the comfort of that red armor to fall back on, and there it is. Finally does pick it up now, and will now try and make his way out of here. It's such a dangerous exit as well. That 50 waiting for him in the middle. He knows he's only got 48 health, so he doesn't really want to go for it right now. There's a couple of good rockets spammed off down that low corridor, down towards the corner alley, but you see more damage from the machine gun. It's really the only hit scan he's got down there. So he did land a bit of damage with that Toxic. He knows that Avic was hurt from the previous battle, and now we might get a battle with the LGs. No, again, Avic drops down, just avoids a couple of rockets that were flown down from high by Toxic, and now they'll have a fight over the red armor. Oh, well, Avic lost down on that one because he wasn't positioned right, nearly lost his life in the acid pool down low, and now only has 6 health. And the corner yellow is his only way of getting out of trouble. He's not even going to get there. Toxic takes him down with the LG, and that'll be 7-2 right now. And this is not looking good for the Polish star.
No, it's not, but you're really seeing the true skills of Toxic there. Not only does he have incredible movement, incredible aim, but just being able to read his opponent and know how much damage he has inflicted. He knew right there when his opponent only had 6 health that all it was going to take was a little nick to the forehead, and that would be all she wrote on that one. And so Toxic went after him with the right weapon. The lightning gun cut him off with the pass. Was a little bit risky in terms of like a general battle strategy, but when you know your opponent's that low, you could get away with that sort of stuff. So 9-1 is the score. Now the one thing to keep in mind is that Frantic is a back and forth map. Avic can easily gain control, and one thing Avic is remarkable at is spawning his opponent, which basically means once you kill your opponent and once he has no health, no armor, and spawns with only machine gun, you can kill him quite easily. Avic's good at that. I can't say that he's going to make up 10 frag as Toxic continues to just roll through the spawns here, but he has been able to do it before. The nice little rocket jump in 1-3 up to the pool now, and another LG kill. Look at the stats. I gotta imagine that Toxic has just, how many? 8 LG kills here, 27%. Very, very efficient.
Yeah, I'm just in awe of Toxic right now moving around this map. I've seen him play so many times over the years, and yeah, he's always been a good player, never any doubt about that, but the way he's playing Frantic against av3k right now, he's making him look like, well, a noob. There's no other way of saying it. He does look like he's seriously having a really hard time right now. 13-1. I always appreciate the fact that av3k could make a comeback right now, but it's just the way Toxic is moving around the map. It's comfortable how he moves. He whips out the right weapon at exactly the right time. There's no mistakes this time. He's picking up yellow. He moves to the next yellow. It appears in front of him as if by magic. He drops down on the red armor. It appears by magic. Everything is working for him right now, and Frantic is one of those maps where you don't necessarily need to time the armors because of the way they're positioned. And with 1.3 movement, as you said earlier, it means you can just move around the map so much faster. So you don't even need to time them, but somehow I think he either is or he isn't, or he's just having fun, because 15-1 right now is just a raging scoreline, and we've only played 5.5 minutes.
Yeah, that's the surprising part. 9 minutes and 18 seconds on the clock, 15-1. At what point do you just concede to your opponent and say, God, how am I even supposed to battle this, especially as the seconds tick away on the main clock here? But if you just joined us, Quake 4, 1v1 Invitational, and 2v2 added to the World Cyber Games 2006 Grand Finals. It's really a treat and a pleasure to have a lot of these players out here. Unfortunately, I got to give shouts out to Cooler, was not able to make it, but Fox coming in and really saying, hey, I should have been given a chance here, defeating quite a few strong opponents, and I don't think we've seen the last of Fox yet. He's always been a fantastic and remarkable player, both in one-on-one and team deathmatch, and you know, he was actually a teammate with Toxic several times on the Ice Climbers. av3k finally getting a frag, making it 2-15. What can he do with it? That's the question. It looked like Toxic was going to go for the equalizing shotgun kill there, but now av3k will start to run those spawns, and this is the part that I said, you know, av3k is actually really good at the spawn running here. He's looking for another frag. Can he get it versus Toxic Shaft? He does. 5-15, already making up 4 from that deficit, and now he's only done by 10, but that's still a long road to take.
Yeah, still a long road, but he's making big inroads as well. A couple of Hyperblaster sounds will land at Toxic's feet when he spawns as well, just there. av3k not able to nail him off that spawn that time around, but he did manage to get 3 or 4 kills in a row, and now he's got to make these count. He has to make these count. Pulls through the teleporter high, goes towards that high yellow, gets blasted away by the rocket from Toxic, and will crater to his death down low, and that is bad news for serious av3k, because it's seriously bad news for him, because Toxic has now regained that advantage he had. He's moving around much more freely again, and has already gained 2 quick kills, and a nice little comeback, but well, you say that, and commentator's curse strikes yet again, and there is av3k back with another kill. So it's not over yet. I mean, 7.5 minutes remaining, 16-6. 10 frag is a long way back, but it's more than possible for this guy.
Absolutely. So we'll focus on Toxic right now, trying to get control back. av3k looking to take away 15 points of Toxic's life to finish it off. Toxic utilizing that shotgun very, very well. If you noticed, he did use it on the run now, and he thinks he's got av3k low. I mean, you don't go after your opponent with 7 points of health unless you think he's got it low. These guys exchange machine gun shots back and forth, and av3k comes out on top. Let's switch over to him. 6 minutes and 50 seconds left on the clock. 16-7 now is the score, and av3k looking pretty good right now. He's going to send some grenades down into the red armor room, try to stop Toxic from getting that. Goes back through the teleporter, continues to rain down some pineapples into that far room. It looks like Toxic made the rocket jump from the red armor up to the top, and will take the aerial advantage over his opponent, jumping back and forth between the teleporter exit, but av3k still does get the kill, and can he rack any more up? He finds where he spawns. It looks like Toxic went for that lightning gun right away, and rightfully so. 8-9 kills with that thing. I would be picking that up too if I was Toxic. av3k moving his way into the red armor room. Looks like he did pick it up. Misses the little ramp jump over to the side window, the Hyper Blaster exit of the red armor room. 6 minutes and 3 seconds on the clock. We're officially now 8 frag deficit for av3k. What do you think? I mean, obviously we've seen Toxic devastate. Can he do it? And also tell us a little about their percentages right now.
Yeah, strangely, this one has not really worked out too well. I mean, the percentages are pretty low, I have to say. 23%, 25% for LG, 30 for Rockets. For Toxic is pretty astounding, actually, and 18 for Avik. And as usual, the Hyper Blaster being a weapon that not many of these players play with, but Avik does seem to favour it quite a lot. And he's hit 13% with that. That's actually a pretty decent score with it. You know, how it goes in these last 5 minutes is going to depend on the next minute or so. And if Avik can get a couple of kills in the next few minutes, and he's doing a very good job of doing so now, we'll get that LG working very well for him. And now Down's trying to find Toxic off the spawn. Does land a couple of bit of rocket damage, and then gets a rocket for his troubles in the face, right coming off the LG ledge. And there was nothing he could do about that. He was committed to the move already, and Toxic knew he's now going to try and get his own conversion kill here. He'll know that Avik's down. No, but there's a fantastic rocket through the floor. The hole in the floor from the red armor, and Avik predicting that Toxic would come through it straight away. We'll now get another rocket battle as well. To and fro it goes once more. They're both down low on health here, and Avik still trying to finish Toxic off with rocket abuse and some spam from that Hyper Blaster as well, and he just wasn't able to finish him off at that point. But 7 frag difference now, and Avik, well, he'll know he has to try and get a few more frags, but that won't help in the acid, and Avik does get another kill. 17-11, 6 frags, more than possible.
It's absolutely more than possible, especially if Avik can actually keep some control here now. I thought he was going to be down and out there when Toxic had that LG stream on him, but it looks like Toxic finally in the back hallway connects with the rocket shot to bring it back in his favor, but he doesn't have control yet. Avik now going to the red armor room. He gets this frag. There's control right there. Avik melting in the acid, his face just dripping from his skull. 4 minutes and 8 seconds left on the clock. Toxic will pick up that red armor, and he may say at this point, I'm putting my foot down, Avik. You will no longer get control. He's absolutely capable of pulling something off like that, and you can already see with this second conversion frag here that is exactly what he's going for. Avik off the spawn, going to fall into the acid once again, but it's Toxic's LG that takes him out. 3 minutes and 45 seconds left on the clock. Red, I'm afraid that even if Avik can take control again, there is just not enough time left on the clock for him to be able to mount not even a comeback, but possibly a tie to this game. I can't see Toxic not scoring in the next 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
It's hard to imagine Toxic not scoring for at least a minute, let alone 3.5 minutes, and that's exactly what Avik needs to do now. 21-10. He's got to try and start pinning Toxic down if he wants to, but Toxic again, even with low health, is just staying in the fight, knows that every frag that counts now towards victory. 3 minutes 12 seconds, 12 frag lead. It's all about Toxic's shaft right now, and that's exactly what he's holding on to. If he's having success with it, just keep it. It's working for him. Now the rockets fly down into that rocket spawn area. Avik trapped down there once more in that red armor room, can't get out of there, and I have a real big fear that we are going to see this Polish superstar, this 15-year-old who has stunned Quake 4 as another pineapple drops onto the top of the head of him, and from Toxic up high, is definitely on his way home in terms of the Quake 4 1v1 right now.
Yeah, regardless of whether or not he's on his way home, at 15 years old and what he's accomplished already as a professional gamer, we do have an exchange kill there. There is nothing to be ashamed about that.
Absolutely
you take a look at Fox, you take a look at Toxic, you take a look at Fatality, Socrates, some of the other guys that here. Avik and Cypher are the guys with the least amount of tournament experience, and to be able to put up a game like this versus Toxic is still something that I would even call home about and say, hey mom, you would not believe how awesome this 15-year-old Polish player is. He is the bomb, and even if Toxic kills him here and takes him out, sweeps him in 2 games, Avik will have a very, very clear and bright future ahead of him.
I totally agree with you. Absolutely. There will be a day when both Cypher and Avik rule the FPS world. I have no doubt about that. They are talented youngsters. It's fantastic to see them here at the WCG. It does seem, though, as Rocket flies into Toxic's face there for Avik to put the 13th frag on the board. Might get another one off the spawn. Does so. 1 minute 40. I mean, 13 frags is just not going to be happening here. I mean, yeah, if he has to, Toxic will just wait for a few seconds every time he spawns and not spawn back into the game. And that'll make it harder for those frags to come. There's a few more seconds wasted. Down in the corner, yellow. Avik will, well, pick up the yellow and then go back over towards that red armor to see if he can collect some armor. But really, all he's doing now is putting on some ego frags. He's, trying to make that score respectable because he doesn't want to make it look bad. He already got hammered in the first game as far as the scoreline is concerned. And Toxic then gets hammered by some rockets from Avik in the red armor room. Another nice rocket jump from the pole again up high. And, you know, 10 frag difference I think would be pretty respectable, pretty representative of the score in this game and the way that they've both played. But right now, Toxic is just untouchable.
Absolutely, and even though Avik may be out of the one-on-one competition based off of the group scores, that doesn't mean he's done playing here at the World Cyber Games 2006, because immediately following the one-on-one competition, there will be a 2-on-2 competition. Now, this will be determined by the highest seed coming out of groups and then the lowest seed. So number 1 and number 8 will play as a team together. So, hey, I'd love to have this guy. I'd love to have either of these guys on my team.
I was actually going to say these two might end up with each other.
Yeah, it's very possible.
Awesome,
and it would be, because regardless of who you end up with, you are getting you know, a hell of a team. Now, granted, there's a couple of guys with a little more TDM experience than others, but the end result is you got 4 awesome teams battling it out in a 2-on-2 scenario. Should be some exciting and spectacular stuff here for the World Cyber Games 2006 Grand Finals, and we count down the final seconds. 3, 2, 1, and the score is 28-17 in favor of Toxic. He wins in a 2-game sweep, and you know, I have to say, people expected this, but I think that Avik played a little bit better than you know, people were expecting.
Yeah,
I think they were looking for the complete blowout, but that was absolutely not the case.
Totally right. That first map, I think he played very smart first half of the game. It could have gone either way. It was 5-4 for pretty much